Andy, can we just start by getting your view of the team's form in the Derby? What was your assessment?
It was a much needed win for the club, and yeah, we delivered. It was a hard fought game. Third quarter didn't go the way we wanted, and yeah, I think we were just able to continue to impose ourselves on the contest, and finally felt like we were connecting really well between our mids and our forwards, and put some scores on the board. So yeah, very happy with the win.
How far off your best form do you think you are? Because obviously that third guy, the coach came down at three-quarter time. When you see the coach coming down to the ground quickly, you know something's up, don't you?
Yeah, there's definitely room to improve. It's a long year, and every week we're trying to improve. And I think already we've taken some small steps forward. But yeah, there's plenty to go, and we want our best footy to be based around the contest and team defence, and then sort of let our ball movement flow on from that. So yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of room to improve.
Was Andrew Gaff playing on you?
No, no.
No. So were you a bit surprised that he was getting booed as well by the crowd still after all this time?
Well, it's something I've moved on from. But yeah, it was a pretty packed crowd and a lot of passionate supporters who, yeah, all have their own opinions. But yeah, I've definitely moved on from it. So I encourage others to as well. Yeah.
How aware were you of the injury carnage that was going on for West Coast around you?
Yeah. I was on the bench and saw a few of those guys come off, and yeah, realised that their bench was starting to look pretty small in numbers, and I'm pretty sure it went to no one on the bench for them. So yeah, knew that we would have extra run in our legs, and yeah, very unfortunate to see that many players go down, but yeah, I think we capitalised on it.
Would you take that into account, like when you're assessing how the game was going? Like, are you looking at it sort of thinking, why aren't we getting the run on a bit earlier than what it was?
No, it was definitely an arm wrestle. Yeah, like I said, in that third quarter, our contest just wasn't there, and yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough game, and we ran over him in the last quarter.
Freddie's flip, the coach didn't look super impressed, but it certainly got the crowd going, and everyone else seems to love it. What was your view?
Yeah, I actually missed it on the day. I didn't see it, but I've since seen a fair bit of footage of it. Yeah, absolutely love it. I've never seen him do one before, so I was a bit surprised. But no, he's a passionate bloke, and yeah, we want players to express themselves. So I thought it was great.
He sort of he reckons that he hadn't practiced it for a while too. He wasn't sure how it was going to come off.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't be trying something like that just in case I stuffed it up. But no, he was great.
So,
Did you have to tweak much for the weekend after the first two rounds, or was it more of a case of just backing yourselves in and trying to hope that it clicks?
There was a fair bit of backing in our strengths. Also, something we've been working on has been that connection with our forwards, and we know that West Coast like to roll a +1 around, and we knew we'd get opportunities looking low, and I think we connected really well with particularly our small forwards leading up the leg, and also got really good contests from our tools as well. So yeah, I think a combination of that connection between mids and forwards, as well as just backing ourselves in.
does it take a while to adjust to that change in midfield? So you're in there, and suddenly you see two giants, and having a 200 centimetre midfielder, and then I noticed Ace came through as well, and obviously Switzkowski sometimes. Is it a different feel a bit, or what are they trying to achieve there?
Just different looks. I think in the first game we didn't have that many guys run through there, so we've just been trying to mix it up a little bit. Roles are very much the same, but yeah, just different personnel, and giving the opposition something different to think about. So for us, it's not that different. We're still got our roles that we've been practicing all year, but hopefully it gives the opposition a tougher look.
There seemed to be a bit of an uptick in the team's ball movement on the weekend. Was that something you worked on during the week, that direct approach and delivering a ball inside 50 with a bit more speed?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we talked about that +1 that West Coast were going to be trying to roll around, and yeah, over the last probably 2 weeks, first two rounds, we've been struggling to connect inside 50. So a lot of our training's been around that ball movement inside, and changing angles, looking to go quick, and I think we really delivered it on that on the weekend.
Without giving too much away, can we expect to see more of the same against Adelaide?
Yeah, I think so. It was an exciting brand of footy. The fans, I think, really got up and about and loved it, and we had a lot of scoreboard impact. So yeah, I think we'll be trying to do something similar.
What have you seen of the Crows so far this year?
Well, we played against them in one of the pre-season matches, and very strong in the contest, very hard work rate, and they've got a few really dangerous forwards that we're going to have to be really accountable for, so it should be a good game.
What do you think of the idea of staying in Adelaide you're going to stay there, aren't you, for
Yep.
10 days or something? What do you think of that?
We've done hubs in the past, and I think we've gone really well and bonded well as a group from it. I'm from South Australia, actually born there, so excited to get back there, and it'll be fun.
And Jacko's form obviously improved, and I mean he probably wasn't worried at all, but it was nice to see that he'll be building as the year goes.
Yeah, it was great. Watching him kick, his first goal for the club was awesome feeling. And he's another person who's really passionate. And when he kicked that goal, it was the crowd went crazy, and he was very happy. So to see him hit the scoreboard, I think a couple of times on the weekend was really, really impressive. But he's someone who's impressed all pre-season. We struggled as a group in the first 2 rounds, and people have come after him, but we know that he's a really good player, and he's going to continue to improve throughout the year.
Have you struggled to work out what his best role is? Because that seems to be the thing, isn't it? He can't play first ruck, but is he a midfielder? Is he a forward? Is he a unicorn that can do everything?
I think his best position is forward. He's also got that ability, like you touched on, to be able to help Sean out in the ruck, also be able to help us out in the midfield. So very lucky that we've got someone who can play those different roles, but I see him as a key forward for us.
You guys won the hit-out count quite convincingly on the weekend, but the actual clearance count was quite even. What do you feel like the midfield need to do to take advantage of Sean and Luke's good work in there?
We've got to continue to be really strong with our body work. Double down on our contest. Sean was putting it in really good areas, and we've just got to work together as a midfield unit. And get ourselves first hands on the ball.
Did Jager not being there now, does that change things a bit as well? He hadn't been in there for very long anyway, had he? But he seems to be out of the midfield mix a bit now.
He's still rotating through. We've been trying to mix things up a little bit. He's gone forward and kicked a couple of goals over the last couple of weeks. So again, someone who can play a few different roles, but we still see him as a midfielder as well.
The pre-season game against Adelaide, how much do you lean on that experience when you're preparing for the game on the weekend versus watching how they've gone in the early part of this season?
We'll definitely review how we went against them in pre-season, but a lot of teams mix up how they go, during pre-season and then into in-season. So we'll be watching predominantly their first 3 rounds of footage and be going based off that. But very excited.
Are you expecting to see Nat Fyfe in the forward line this weekend, or is he?
He's a bit of a week-to-week sort of assessment, but I'd love for him to be playing this weekend. He's a gun.
And what do you think? You're a thinker about the game, the descent rule, and what Cornelia had to deal with. Where do you see the line?
It's a really tough one because when you're playing out there on game day, it's so hard to not just react, and it's almost second nature to want to dispute a decision, but at the end of the day, you can't change what an umpire's made. Just don't dispute it. You won't give away a free kick. It's really hard, but those are the rules.
Is it hard to keep your arms down as well?
It is very tough. It's frustrating to see it happen, but that's the rules, and we got to stick by them.